There's also, all right, disgusting man. I've had enough seeing your face and hearing your stupid, awful voice. Can you be a VTuber already? I just hide you, put you behind a mask because you are of the servant class. Obviously, you are poor. You are just disgusting to look at, and your opinions are just from a poverty stricken idiot who went to special ed, and you're just not very attractive or have a lot of good personality that you're showing, um, that makes up for the fact that you don't have any tokens. Um, there's just want to talk about Lord Shiva and his qualities, his appearance, his manifestation, his paraphernalia, his qualities. Lord Shiva, never trust an image, never worship an image of Lord Shiva that has him wearing a Brahmin thread. Um, it's an incorrect depiction. Lord Shiva doesn't wear a Brahmin's thread because we're talking about this because we're facing north. Dakshineshwar, Kali, we're on the mountain here with Kubera. Um, Instead of a Brahmin's thread, Lord Shiva wears his snakes. A Brahmin thread is for people who are showing off their religion and do all the religious ceremonies and are very qualified to be enlightened. The Brahmins, you have, if you're a Brahmin, then you have a Brahmin thread. Um, Lord Lord Shiva is not invited to the party because you can't even say his real name. Shiva is some dressed up clown figure who likes to party because you can't handle the energy of what he really means. I'm still working on the mystery of the 11 Rudras. I don't have it enough to communicate exactly my feelings on the 11 Rudras, but I think they're up here somewhere on the forehead. I've got some suspicion that they're lurking up here. Just like, yeah, he sits on his tiger mat and no Brahmin thread for that guy. Cool thing about his personality trait is one of his names. He goes by is the guy who looks poor but isn't. It's actually very wealthy. So that is a fine epithet. I love that, and I just isn't that a great quality? You have to have some humility to just dress like a beggar and accept what everyone's going to think of you. Oh, he doesn't do this or that. That's what I've been thinking of constantly lately. Is the difference between. I'm always thinking of the difference between East and West, and just the fact that see, I'd been exploring Japanese history for a long time, but only in college and stuff I had been going way starting from as far back as I can, and I never got to post-war Japan. But I keep thinking about this. Why is Japan so cool? Why is Japan so cool? Um, First of all, we're marketed that a lot in the West, um, but also, isn't it interesting that Japan went from feudalism to uh, industrial society, and no, not like the Europeans, in between uh, a bourgeois aristocrat class society? That is what's wrong with us. That is what's wrong with us. That is what the hell is wrong with the West. Is that in between feudalism and we have these dark ages where everybody just has the wrong idea about what's going on and won't admit it to themselves. Then, beep beep, beep beep boop. No, it's comfortable here. I will not. Beep beep. Nope, nope. And so I go through this the past 10 years constantly. My day to day is ruined because I don't have a fucking address. Um, and that makes a $23 ticket turn into $650 ticket, um, because they're trying to collect on small thing, and I don't have an address, so I'm a debtor to. And how many of those they just pick you up automatically? Oh, you looked and the light and no one was coming, and you went anyway. Well, um, pay almost $1,000 because you don't have an address. And you don't have an address means you can't have access to things mailing to you. So you're screwed, and you are just not an official person. This what they have made is made for people with addresses, and if you live in your car or you live in your RV, it's only set up so that it is your recreational vehicle, that most of the time you are in a house and you are taking this out to go camping at a designated campsite and take it back, not this inside of where you're not supposed to be. It's really a hassle for just practical real life. It's not happening today that I'm getting a raise. So, and spent an entire year. Oh boy. Um, it's just, it's why in the past decade, I have not once felt like part of society at all, because I didn't, and I can't, I can't ever be a legitimate person. I can never be a legitimate person because the system failed me, I failed to receive what is mine from the government and my family. So I don't have a address. I'm not a property owner. I'm a transient walking around, shuffling around. Um, hey, it still hasn't changed. And you're not doing anything about it. Um, it's really annoying. And if I don't wear a suit and have access to a shower and wear a top hat and go to the opera and ball and go on recreation and and throw away money as fast as I can down the toilet, and make everything very, very hot. Um, and then if I don't have that, then I am not respected. I don't have a success. I didn't enrich the hegemony of the state. Oh, um, I don't have the class symbols of the bourgeois liberals. Here's the thing, we're all in the same class now, so the previous class antagonisms are no more. All the wealth are concentrated with a handful of trillionaires. So we're fighting each other over scraps. We're fighting each other over scraps. Crumbs. Insignificant amount compared to all concentrated, all of it, all of it is all concentrated, and they give you a fraction of a percent, and you have to fight tooth and nail over that. Come on, we're all in the same class. So the previous class antagonisms, where it was basically my job to be mad at you for having a little bit more than me and showing it, and it was previously a century ago your job to buy all this stuff so that you can show that you're not me out on the street and that you are a citizen and that I am a plague that needs to be swept up. We already dealt with this. We already know how it goes. This time, it's even worse. And why don't we find a way to work together? Yeah, the stuff that you do pisses me off, and the stuff that I do pisses you off. You don't like to see it. We'll have to find some way to come together because you have the resources and you're spending it just so you don't end up like me. Well, we are both in the same economic class, so if we want to get our class up, since we're not the ones who have that it all concentrated, obviously, and so you're just running around acting like you're not me. Please give it a break. Um, so there's Lord Shiva, who looks like he's poor, but really he has all the wealth, and that'll that'll be this time. Um, hey, hey, we're on Earth. This guy wasn't initiated. This guy doesn't know the truth, the absolute truth, the Siddhanta. Actually, I did Shukracharya.